Okay, it is 11:11 on Saturday, and this is October 18th, 2025, and we're here for another Questions from the Dragon live session. I think our audio is probably okay here, and I am Stephen the Channeler.
Hello, and this is Stephanie.
And we are here once again to bring in the energies of Jadon Se. And this session, the Questions for the Dragon is always about Q&A. So anyone who is working with Jadon Se, with Dragon Energies, who has questions about anything having to do with the above, are welcome to chime in on the chat. And a couple of quick little things. The chat is kind of our ground zero. The live chat is our ground zero for a few people have requested a space where they can chat among themselves, where community can develop, where conversations can occur. And we have, I think you guys have noticed, we have opened up the chat on videos, on all the messages from the dragon, and this live stream chat will be on the replay as well, and the chat remains open. So anyway, if you guys want to still gather here and talk amongst yourselves, by all means, this is probably the best we can do. We're not going to stand up a website with a community or anything like that, but we do definitely want you guys to have the ability to connect with each other if that's desired. And let's see a couple of announcements. The app is still in testing on Android, and I think, as you heard from previous announcements, the Apple Store has decided they don't want any fortune-telling apps of any kind. So Oracle decks are just not being accepted. We didn't know that ahead of time. Would have been nice if they had spelled that out, but this app will never be on the Apple App Store, unfortunately. But what we can do is we can use an app called Test Flight to let you install it. So if you want the iOS version of the app, you can go to jadonse.com, and we just ask for a donation because we have to administer all the emails and push new releases every 90 days and all that. And for such a small group of people using the app, it's kind of a lot of time, but we're happy to do it because we love having Jadon Se in our pocket to, it's like, what does Jadon Se say about what I'm going through right now? And you pull out your app and you draw a card, and it's kind of amazing. He's really coming through well. What do you think, Stephanie?
I totally agree.
Yeah, very good. So anyway, the Android version, we actually still need testers. The Android Play Store, they need 14 or 12 users to be continuously using the app for 14 days. And I think we're just hovering around 11. So we're just not quite hitting the threshold. So anyone who still wants to do Android testing, please send an email just requesting that to customer care at jadonse.com. We'll get you on the Android testing, and that will allow you to also download a full-blown version of the app onto your phone. And it's just, we ask that you use it at least once a day to just do a reading and have Jadon Se give you some guidance. The class is steadily filling up. I think we're up to 16 people now, and it's still, enrollment is still going to be open for another 2 weeks to the day. We'll end enrollment at 11/1 at 11/11, so that'll be kind of nice, a lot of ones lining up there. And the class starts in 15 days, so we're excited about that. We're really looking forward to delving into the dragon energies and timeline jumping and all sorts of great things there. We've been doing fewer personal readings these days, which is understandable. People, I think, are putting more attention into the class maybe that's upcoming. I'm not sure, but calendar's getting kind of open again. And we do really enjoy our personal readings. They're a lot of, it's kind of interesting how Jadon Se can really come through with exactly what is needed at the time. That's the feedback we keep getting from people. Like, I really needed to hear that right now. And so anyway, it's our pleasure and our honor actually to see people getting value out of their personal readings. So if you want to book a personal reading, there's a link below on this live stream. It's the link for personal readings. And let's see, I think that's it for announcements. Stephanie, did you have anything?
Maybe you could mention with personal readings that there are other beings that are appropriate for the person that come through, and just how extraordinary. Stephen can bring through Kuan Yin. He's brought in this week that removed an incredible implant from my heart. It was Ashtar Command, and they actually came with a ship above our house and etherically removed a horrible implant from my heart. And so I'm just expanding on like his personal sessions can get pretty interesting, not just through Jadon Se, who does incredible healing, but other beings that desire to come through and assist with not only healings, removal of implants, but also like really incredible deep guidance on why you've incarnated here so long ago, why your soul was originally interested in coming to Gaia and who you really are. So just encouraging that.
Okay.
Things get really interesting.
Yeah, we've really kind of focused on Jadon Se, but at times we will just ask, who's the appropriate one that wants to come through to address this. If there's a fear or anxiety or something going on, we will open it up and ask permission that would you like, we feel that, for example, Mary Magdalene wants to come in right now for this or something. And if I feel those energies, I'll say it. And if the person wants to get a reading through Mary Magdalene, they can, and I'll just open up and let her come on through. So, we do kind of, I guess the focus here is Jadon Se, but we're absolutely willing to help in any way needed with the personal readings. For this, we'll, for any lives and our messages from the dragon, we'll keep it focused on Jadon Se unless there's some compelling reason for another wise one to come through. Okay, so very good. That's, I think, about it for housekeeping. Did you have anything else, Stephanie?
No, I see we already have a few questions.
Oh, okay. Well, before that, let's do my favorite part of this whole thing, which is feeling the whole globe light up with all these wonderful light workers working with dragon energies. So please call out where you're from. We see New Jersey, Bournemouth, England. Hello. We got our regulars here. Queensland, Australia, Massachusetts. We have, where else are we here today? Groves, Texas, Mahidra. Where's Mahidra? Is that India? Beautiful. Mahidra, Utah. We have Folsom, California, Philly. We have Thailand is in the house, Amsterdam, Netherlands, Johannesburg, South Africa. Let us know where you're from today, where you are. New Hampshire is in the house. Who else is here? Call it out. And it looks like we do have some questions coming in, so we'll back up when we get to that. Holland is in the house. So I guess Mahidra is in Holland. Okay, I've been to Holland, but I haven't noticed that place. Okay, who else is in the house? Let's see. Call it out. Okay, how many people do we have here?
We have 17 watching live right now.
Okay, nice intimate gathering as usual. Okay, very good. And we always prefer quality over quantity. There's no need for this to be a big gathering. Paso Robles, California. However, if there is someone in your life that you feel could really benefit from tuning into these energies, by all means share to appropriate people that you feel called to. Okay, all right. So without further ado, I guess I will drop into channel and Stephanie can call out some questions. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the third arc of consciousness, and this is another version of your questions from the dragon. Today we are here in an energetic, those of you who are very sensitive may know and feel that your star, this beautiful Sol, S-O-L, your sun, is speaking in ways that are to many of you new. Mm, this star is so beautiful and brilliant and is evolving, dear ones. This ascension is not just an ascension of your Gaia. The entire solar system and indeed the entire cosmos is watching this ascension with great interest and joy. And your sun has begun to shine a little differently, let us say. There are new energies coming through. Some of them are indeed related to the passage of your Andronoff, three-eye Atlas, moving closer and closer to this star, this beautiful portal of light and love. And as this proximity happens, more and more special energies will be coming in. If you think of this as a celebration in the cosmos of the graduation of the humans on the surface of this Gaia into something new, it is like all of your family is here cheering you on, and this your Andronoff is here as well to give your son a little, let us say, pat on the shoulder as well. For your son has presided over the entire grand story of humanity here on this your Gaia. Very well. There are also energies that are pouring in from the greater cosmos at this time. You humans have these beautiful rituals of when a baby is born. There is this party that is thrown by mostly the feminine ones in the mother's world, and it is called a baby shower. They shower this new life with gifts and well wishes and blessings and beautiful energies of warmth and welcoming this new soul, this new little one into the world, and the mother most of all giving her support, making her feel like she is not alone in this undertaking. And this baby shower is exactly a perfect metaphor for what is happening in the cosmos right now. Your feminine divine on this your world has been so patient with let us say toxic masculine energies, and the divine masculine is waking up to its true nature, and this beautiful balance is almost like coming together to birth a new child. It is like giving birth to a golden age, to the ascension. And dear ones, very much like your baby shower, there is this beautiful support pouring in from the loved ones around the greater cosmos, rivers of energy. These are blessings of love, of support, guidance. Yes, dear ones, restoring histories and telling grand stories. And it is like a deep celebration of this midwifing of the ascension that is going on. We greatly honor the divine feminine for the patience and persistence needed to make it through these dense times and darker realities of the past. It is so beautiful that humanity has made it through to this threshold, and here we are with this beautiful celebration of energies coming in. And at this time, it is so important for those of you who are sensitive to this to open your hearts, to be receptive to the great gifts that are pouring in. It may seem like the world is full of chaos and strife and forbidding and foreboding news and all these things. This is indeed true. This is what it is like when any age ends and a new one begins. There is this changing of the guard, so to speak. Do not pay too much attention to the chaos that you seem to be experiencing. Focus instead upon the love that is being showered upon this your Gaia and all of its inhabitants right now. This baby shower, so to speak, for the birth, the midwifing of this ascension, this beautiful golden age, which is only the first step in your ascension, or at least the most recent step, we will say. And for this time of celebration, do not forget to play. It is a time of festivities of the soul, of the spirit, so to speak. Many of you have been too serious. For so long, you have been carrying the burdens and weight of all of this oppression and density and toxic masculine energies and these things that the world is shaking off. And it is now a time to celebrate and play, lighten up, so to speak. If you are a prankster, it is a good time to play some jokes or watch some of your adorable little videos of raccoons getting into candy for Halloween, and there are these devices you have on your front porches that like skeletons and witches, that when they have a little device that has a motion sensor, and the raccoon gets into the candy and it goes Mwahaha, and the raccoon jumps, and it is so delightful, and it will make you laugh out loud, sometimes until you cry, to see these little animals scared by these toy skeletons and witches and things. And it may be a little cruel, but it is still very funny. This is the energy that we need right now. It is a beautiful energy of celebration. This showering from the cosmos is very real, dear ones. Tune into it. Open your heart. And because of this, when you open up and when you feel this lightness, this showering of love and joy and celebration, you will understand new things. You will gain new insights into not only this ascension, the golden age that is dawning, but your own beingness. What am I really here for? All this time I have been so worried about paying these bills and surviving and struggling against all of these different things that seem to be holding me back. And it has been so serious and dreary at times. And now that you are feeling this graduation from that, no more homework, so to speak, no more papers to write. It is summer vacation of sorts. And those of you in the southern hemisphere are indeed feeling that as your winter is coming to a close. And it is very beautiful to have these energies at this time to usher in a new understanding of why you are here. There have been a few messages from this dragon recently posted about soul mission and what you are truly doing in these days. Who am I really? All of these sorts of questions. The reason for this is the energetic is ripe, so to speak, for a review, a soul review, you might say. What is my purpose? Why am I here? What is occurring on this Gaia? And now that these densities are being removed and these oppressive energies and this feeling of having to survive is dissipating, I can thrive. And now that I can thrive, what do I wish to do? Why am I truly here? Instead of reacting to all of these external forces, what are the internal forces? This is the rise of the divine feminine, giving birth to creativity, beautiful dreams, and worlds to come. It is coming from inside. It is not something that you force down from the outside. This is falling away. This beautiful divine feminine energy of nurturing and giving birth to your dreams, dear ones. Yes, the men here can do this as well, and you do. All of you have divine masculine and divine feminine aspects to your beingness. Souls do not truly have a gender. when you go far enough through the source of what makes a soul. And here it is beautiful. Expressions of the divine masculine are beautiful, and divine feminine energies are so needed and beautiful at this time. So just bask in your beingness. Don't get caught up over whether you are feeling like a spiritual mama's boy or something like this. It is not like that. You do not need to worry that you're not a badass anymore. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Forgive this dragon for his language at times. I'm trying to find the correct words in this channel, and he is kind of smirking at me right now. I accessed some of his bad language. It is beautiful for you to just accept that each of you has a loving and nurturing side. Each of you has a protective side. This is the divine masculine is so needed as well. This providing and protecting and loving and supporting in the masculine ways. Do this, dear ones, all of you. Does not matter what sort of physical equipment your body has. You can all do these things. You can be loving and kind and nurturing. You can hatch these beautiful creativities within your, we will just call it the womb of your soul, and bring these beautiful dreams, give birth to them, dear ones. All of you have these abilities. Let them be balanced to the extent that it is comfortable for you. And just make sure that they are not the toxic versions of either masculinity or femininity. Both have their toxic variants that are not very helpful. And so we will not speak of these, but just try to guard against these. And as we move forward, these deeper insights are truly at hand from this opportunity to take a deep breath and not so much worry about survival. It is still early in this golden age, and there are still the waning energies of oppression and limitation are starting to finally slip away. However, many of you are still feeling financially challenged, and many of you are wondering where this new and like these new systems of abundance are going to come from, and whether they all come from within or some will come externally. And dear ones, it is just like this balance of masculine and femininity. It is a beautiful balance of internal and external forces, a pushing out and a pulling in at the same time. It is that balance that we are seeking. So when your abundance begins to flow within you, it is mirrored in the world around, and you will see financial systems changing. You will see debts forgiven. You will see new systems of abundance, free energy, new inventions, and beautiful things in the external. Meanwhile, your internal workings, your inner workings will be realigning, so to speak. The word of the day is truth. Be true to yourself. Be true to your dreams, dear ones. Be true. And what is this word true? It can be used to mean the opposite of falsehood or deception. It can also be used to mean that something is straight and in full alignment. The arrow is true, and so it flew straight. It is a truth. You are in full alignment with your soul mission when you walk in truth. Deception is falling away, both externally and, dear ones, work on it falling away inside of you. Most of all, do not deceive yourselves. Do not cling on to old stories that no longer serve, let us say. Do not try to bring fear into a place where fear does not belong. Do not bring shame or anger or greed or any of these old ideas that were needed in these times of survival. Be true to your true essence. Have a true heart, so to speak. And as you develop this true heart and you walk confidently with your truth and standing in your true light, you will see beautiful new developments in your external world that will mirror this. You'll see others walking in truth, speaking truth to power. You'll see corruption being called out for what it is and falling away. You will see light being brought to dark places. It is a time for celebration, for this tide has changed. And it is the early part of the tide, so it still feels like there is not a lot happening. But, dear ones, you are moving inexorably to a beautiful, grand time. Let us not take up this entire thing with a speech from the dragon. Dearest Stephanie, are there any questions we can open up to at this time?
Yes, I see Aaron Darvish has the first question. Jadon Se, in our dream state, how can we tell what is an avatar, what is an overlay, what is a dead dude, or our higher self?
Dear one, when you ask, how can I tell? There is a very easy answer. It sounds simple and it sounds easy. Practicing this answer is not always as easy, however. The very easy answer to how can I tell if something is correct or right or true is just feel into it. Your heart knows. There will be no delay in the answer. Is this, you just ask the question, is this a dead guy? Does this mean like a soulless non-player character type? Or anyway, I do not know what you mean by a dead guy. But if you say, is this a dark one, or is this a false being in my dreams? And just feel your heart's response. Feel into it immediately. There is no delay. The answer will come, yes or no, warm or prickly. You will know. It will either make your heart expand or contract in some way immediately. If it takes time for the answer to come, this is your mind trying to follow some breadcrumb trail and connect dots that don't always aren't always meant to be connected. So just feel into it. And when you are in a dream, it is beautiful for you to have this awareness, for this leads you to waking up within your dream. These beautiful dreams where you can have a lucid dream where you understand I am dreaming, and then so much can be done, for you become conscious within your subconscious, so to speak. It is like well, we will not say, but it is a beautiful gift when you become conscious within your subconscious. It is a mirror of becoming conscious in your superconscious, which is your higher self. This is the Christ consciousness. So, as within, so without. If you can become more lucid in your dreaming, this mirrors what it is to become more lucid in your spirit. It is beautiful for you to work with these energies of your dream realities, your dream realms, we will call them, for you can understand so much about yourself, and you can also have lots of fun playing with flying and maybe soaring around the universe and visiting another galaxy or whatever you wish. When you are lucid dreaming, you are beyond a superhero. You can do anything in this dream realm. There are no rules as there are here in this density. We play by the house rules, we like to say. We like to say on this your Gaia, for if people started flying and shooting laser beams out of their eyes, then the world would come unglued in very short order. It would not be your Gaia anymore. So there are certain house rules, we say. However, in your dreams, these rules are off, and you can fly around the cosmos and shoot laser beams out of your eyes, or just create the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. You can see worlds that are so grand, and vistas and landscapes. Visit any place that you have ever dreamed about. You can talk to fairies or dragons face to face, where they will be very physical and very real. Dear ones, this is beautiful when you can do this. So the answer is feel into it. Your heart knows the answer.
Home Drawn has a question. My shadow work, dropping limiting beliefs, ending toxic relationships and old contracts, letting go of past traumas. Does this include all my connected past and future lifetimes as well?
This is a very excellent question. Essentially, you're saying, when I do shadow work, is it clearing up other connected lifetimes and working with the shadow work of those? Mm, the answer is yes and yes. You are, anytime you are, let us say, processing appropriately, no longer appropriate energies. Mm, you could call this shadow work if you wish, or just simply call it growth. You are growing. And as you grow, you are becoming something new and shedding something old. And that is the process of growth. When you do this, dear ones, there are ripple effects to all connected lifetimes. When you have a connected lifetime, there is a reason why that connection is strong. Perhaps you are going through an issue where you feel like you cannot speak your truth, and you maybe even have a little extra fleshiness around your chin, a double chin, so to speak, and you have trouble finding your voice. You do not sing very clearly, and you feel into this, and you start working on it. And as you start working on it, you come to realizations that you are not speaking your truth to power, that you are afraid for some reason to speak your truth or to sing in a clear voice. And this may lead you to understand very connected lifetimes where you came to speak your truth to power and you were murdered for it, in public perhaps, martyred, silenced by the powers that be in these older densities. And when you feel deeply into these connected lifetimes, you might find that even though you died, you were burned at the stake for speaking truth to power or what have you, your death and your life made a difference. And speaking that truth to power was the high point of that entire life. So it was a good death, you might say, a life well lived, even though it was cut short by speaking your truth to power. And you also realize that that came at a cost, that you now have this hesitance to speak your truth, for you have been murdered for it, and it is still very fresh because that lifetime is very connected. Dear ones, as you heal this in this present life, find your voice, find your truth and speak it. You are healing that other lifetime as well and honoring it, dear ones. It changes every connected lifetime. And indeed, that connection might grow weaker once you have healed this. You may not have such a strongly connected lifetime to that one where you died for speaking your truth. Or it can become even stronger, for you resonate deeply with this. More of this is needed right now. We will not be martyred for it. We will not be burned at the stake or what have you. But we might have our YouTube account frozen, or there might be some smaller repercussions in this time, in this light, you might say. But you might use that ability that you gained in this other life to have the courage to speak your truth, even if there is some much smaller sacrifice on this side of things. I hope this makes sense to you, that yes, all connected lifetimes have a mirroring effect. It is very much like a house of mirror. One change will affect all the others. I hope this helps.
I see Aaron Darvish has another question. Jadon Se, what is the difference between an alpha draconian and a dragon?
The Alpha Draconis is any being from the star system of your Draconis stars. There are various stars in the system. So this is, you can say, I am an Orion, and my people might say, oh, they're bad people. No, dear ones, there are good people and bad people in your Orion star system, and there is even the Orion Council of Light, some loving beings that are so beautiful and so skilled at working with the shadow work, for they have lived it for so many lifetimes. Similarly, your Alpha Draconis system is full of different beings with different experiences. Many of them are reptilian and reptoid, you might say, and many of them are dragons. Yes, dear ones, there are dragons in almost every system. However, there are starfaring, spacefaring, physical dragons. Yes, they have ships and they move about the cosmos like this. Every being has different versions and different dimensions, and your fourth and fifth dimensional dragons oftentimes use technologies and travel amongst the stars. And there, you are referring to what people say are these negative reptilians who we would call this an unholy alliance between these starfaring 5D dragon types and 4D dragon types and these reptilians. And dear ones, do not misunderstand. Not all reptilians are aggressive and domineering and negative, you might say, from your standpoint. Not all of them are. Many of them are quite friendly and supportive, even loving, and very kind and wise. So well, let us just say reptilians have gotten a bad rap. It is very similar to people being a little shy about Germans because of your Nazi Germany history and thinking that maybe Germans are bad or whatever. That would be a very deep misunderstanding of history and of what really occurred and what the German people really are, these beautiful, warm-hearted, loving people. And so it is very similar when you judge the entire species of these reptilian, reptoid beings. There are more than one species, but we will not get too caught up in this. When you say, what is the difference between Alpha Draconis and Draco reptilians and the Draco and the negative Draco, and do you see there are many differences? There are many nuances, dear one. Do not get confused. Do not think they are all evil or all domineering or empire builders and etc. Many of them are beautiful beings. So even it might be a little dangerous to travel in your Alpha Draconis system at times when the stories are raging that are more negative, and there is no one time from this golden dragon standpoint, this cosmic golden dragon standpoint, for I see a great arc of history for the Alpha Draconians, and that any being that lived in the stories of that system. And so judge not any star system, dear ones. Do not call them good or evil any more than this your Gaia is good or evil because of the evil that has been done here, any more that your Germans are good or evil because of that one period of history where this strange person came to power and was able to manipulate the entire political system of a country. It is not for us to judge. It is for us to learn from all of these experiences, dear one. I hope this clears up something for you.
Galvarino RD. Greetings, Jadon Se. What special meaning to see a black dragon? I've seen myself as a black dragon with blue scales, and it got me curious.
Dear ones, dragons appear in different colors for different reasons, and a black dragon can be extremely potent in helping one to find what is called the inner stillness, or it can be extremely potent in understanding the completion of cycles. For the color black is symbolic, deeply symbolic. There is a misunderstanding amongst many beings about light and dark, and that many are afraid of darkness, or have judged darkness to be bad or evil. And darkness is simply darkness. It is like money being evil. Money is simply money. It is how it is used that can be evil or good. And similarly, darkness and blackness can be used for, let us say, growth, or perhaps a sense of separation or harm. And this is oversimplification. However, a dragon that appears to you in black form or dark, very dark colors, oftentimes all you can see from these dragons is their eyes, and maybe the rims of their wings, and little glints off of their scales or claws, and the rest is just almost invisible to you. It is a beautiful metaphor, you might say, in many cases, leading you to no-thingness, not the negative void or something where you feel like there is oblivion. We are not talking about oblivion. We are talking about no-thingness. Dear ones, people get confused by this because you are swimming in the kingdom of thingdom. This 3D and 4D and even 5D realities are all full of things, and these things are so important to you that you become disoriented when there are no things around, and you think that this is negative or an emptiness, that this void of no thingness is empty. It is full of spirit, dear ones. It is full of potential. It is full of energy. It is full of things you can tap, not things. It is full of aspects of reality you can tap into. In language is very tricky when it comes to things. It is not for you to be afraid of any being that is black. It is for you to feel into, why is this being appearing in black form, and what sort of opportunity is this for me to understand? Maybe it is the stillness. Maybe it is the greater cosmos. Maybe it is the Alpha and the Omega, the completion of a cycle. Your particular dragon is personal to you, and I will not go into your personal relationship with this dragon. However, just know, feel into, what does black mean for you, and not what do all black dragons have in common. For every dragon appears how it appears, for a reason, and only for the person that they are appearing to. Chew on that one for a moment.
Michael Petronella, what is our Earth's inner sun, weather, and terrain like, as well as the inhabitants there?
Dear one, you are delving into different stories of this your Gaia, and each story has its own realm, so to speak. Just as if you were to dive into George Lucas's story of Star Wars, you would delve into this. It is actually based on what happened in truth in Orion, and in truth it is its own beingness. The universe of Star Wars, so to speak, is a place that it is real, and you can visit it. You can actually incarnate into it if you wish, or travel to it if you know how, and you can be a character or a being in that universe. Similarly, the inner earth has several different realms, stories, universes. You have heard of the Agarthan network. You have heard of your Telos and other cities under the mountains and underground. You have heard of the inner earth and great continents and oceans inside. And each of these is true, dear ones. They are just multi-dimensional levels of stories. And the one that we feel you are delving into is an inner earth story where The earth is completely hollow in the center, and there is a glowing, shining star at the center. You might call it the heart of Gaia, and this is like a mirror of the sun in the cosmos, as without, so within, as above, so below. This is a beautiful story and beautiful realm that does indeed exist. And if you are in resonance with it, you can travel there. You can experience oceans that curve upwards instead of downwards. You can experience clouds that float within the great void of this hollow world. And this shining star, this heart of Gaia, the inner sun. And in this story, you are asking, what is the nature of that sun? Dear one, it is the nature of every star, every sun, every point of love, of the divine, is a portal, dear ones, to aspects of the divine, aspects of love, of light, of truth, of sure beingness and energy. There are pathways amongst the stars. Those of you who are brave enough can fly right into a star and pop out of another star somewhere else in the cosmos, for they are also gateways. They are beautiful, living, conscious beings, dear one, aware of you. When you walk out the front door of your house on the surface of this earth and look out at your external star, your sun, and you look at it, it knows you are looking at it, dear one. It feels your gaze, and it will respond. If you are sensitive enough, you can walk out your front door and say, hello, sun, and you will feel it say hello back to you. There is a beautiful conversation that could start with your beautiful, beloved Archaea. Archaea is another name for your star's consciousness, so to speak. The Hindu god of the sun, but he loves the name Archaea. And you might do the same with the inner sun. The inner, it is the heart of Gaia. And because above it is oftentimes depicted as a male star, the star below in the inner earth is female, and it is the heart of Gaia. It has every color of the rainbow scintillating in it. If you have ever seen a star in the night sky that looks a little like a disco ball, it seems to pulsate with rainbow colors. This is the nature of the inner sun in this world that you refer to, and it is so dazzling and beautiful, rainbow energies, and you can draw on those rainbow energies. You can speak with this being, this heart of Gaia. We could go on for a long time. I hope this was enough.
Home John has a question. Is there a void dragon embodied and walking among us on Gaia?
Dear ones, a void dragon is a dragon made of no-thingness, the void. And those of you who have experienced no-thingness understand that there is no boundary to the no-thingness. It is infinite. It goes in every direction and into every depth of beingness, let us say. We will not call these dimensions. Let's just say depth of beingness. And you are appearing upon the canvas of the void. Your very beingness is, if you think of a painting that is being painted on a canvas, the colors are being applied and the canvas just is some place for them to appear. This is your void. You are in this void. You are of this void, for your beingness is appearing. It is like a movie appearing on a screen. The screen is not the important part of the movie. It is simply the substrate of its existence. You can call the void the substrate of existence if you wish. It is full of spirit. It is not empty. It is full of energy, potential, beingness without form. There are not proper words for this. And a dragon can and does, let us say, resolve to the void. I myself can resolve to the void at will, and I can experience everything from the void. This is one of the key points of a cosmic dragon. Regardless of cosmic golden, cosmic other, cosmic dragons are very familiar with the substrate of beingness. This is for one of your advanced dragon energies classes. We will not go too far into this. It is something that you can learn to work and appear anywhere at any time. This is how we light walk into stories. And anyway, this is it is not important for you to be concerned about void dragons. You speak it as if it might be an evil, naughty dragon or something to be terrified of or concerned about. And it is not concerning that dragons, any dragon who is of the cosmic level or above, can very easily move through the void at times and any time, and because we are outside of time. It is confusing to an earthbound human, this conversation. Let us just say that we are the void, and you are the void. You just are not aware of it.
I see Nazi has a question. Could you please speak more into the qualities of the divine masculine qualities? How do you see relationships in the golden age? Thank you.
Very good. This is a very pertinent subject for today's world. The divine masculine, known so much for being protector, provider, champion of truth, builder, doer, the ones who provide and protect and support through so many different abilities, external creation. The core of masculine and feminine beingness is inward and outward, pushing and pulling. The divine masculine pushes out experiences. Any word with EX in it is most likely a masculine word, for it is expression, it is experience, it is all of the different pressing outward is the core divine masculine quality. And when you take something highly creative and press it out, it becomes something of value in the world, a thing or a being. Dearest Stephanie has recently had a conversation where it is so beautiful that the divine feminine creates this baby inside of the womb, and that this 9-month period of the baby growing is such a beautiful feminine nurturing energy. It is an inward loving nurturing energy, and then at the moment of birth there's a sudden outburst of masculine energy. The act of childbirth is a highly masculine act. It is a pushing out with great force and will and concentration and, yes, pain, and but it is laser-like focused on bringing this one into the world. This is highly masculine. It is pushing this beautiful little one out into the light of day and into its first breath and its first expression in the external world. This is masculinity, building skyscrapers and building jet aircraft and things. Yes, dear ones, women can do this too. All men can have feminine sides. All women can have masculine sides. So yes, you have Rosie the Riveter building battleships. Do not get confused by this. The masculine energies are builder energies. They are external and they are quite forceful. They are very confident energies. They are very focused energies. They are, let us say, accurate to the nth degree when there is a laser-like focus to create something. Your highest levels of engineering and understanding of geometries are very masculine energies, for they are focused on the results. They are focused on a level of responsibility and sovereignty that is not present in the feminine energies. It is a little different when you talk about truth in masculine and truth in feminine. There is truth of feeling in the feminine, truth of beingness within, truth of resonance for the female, and there is this truth of integrity and truth of whether or not something is proven to be false or true, taking responsibility for the truth, being in full sovereignty, etc. Any one topic can be looked at from the masculine and the feminine, and both will be correct, and they will just be different aspects of that topic. And hopefully this is enough for you to know that the key difference is external versus internal, pushing versus pulling. The masculine pushes, the feminine pulls. It is an inward gathering in the feminine and an outward expression in the masculine. And this world can only exist through both. I hope this helps.
She also asked, how do you see relationships in the golden age?
What is a relationship, dear ones? This is a very deep topic. If you would go deeply enough into this topic, everything and everyone is in relationship with everything and everyone else. And this can get very confusing from a human standpoint. So we will not talk about cosmic relationships. We will not talk about even connected lifetimes. Those, dear ones, are relationships. It is a relationship with your own beingness. It can get very confusing when you go too deeply into this subject. For now, we will just limit this to human relationships, or 3D relationships of 3D beings on this your Gaia. When we speak of these relationships, there are so many nuances and beautiful connections that we can consider, and they are without exception orchestrated from a greater knowingness of your greater higher selves, a charting in, so to speak. This beautiful Stephen and Stephanie met through a stargate. There is a beautiful story around this. Both of them were longing for their soul's love. Both of them got to the point where they called out to the cosmos, to the greater beingness, to the divine, I am ready for my soul's love. And this geometric structure, divine geometry, sacred geometry structure that Stephen was in, connected them in a magical way that was so beautiful. And they are now sitting lovingly right next to each other and in each other's world and lives because of this connection. And this is how relationships happen in all cases. If you have someone who becomes your enemy, your higher self called to that person's higher self, and they have an agreement for you to each play these different roles to learn something from each other. You can learn something by being a villain. You can learn something by being the hero. You can learn something by being anything in between. There are no true heroes and villains in the end. There are just divine beings playing out stories in the cosmic chapters of eternity. And so these relationships are all orchestrated, dear ones, by your higher, greater beingness and in agreement with each other. Even someone who does something terrible to you has been called in by both parties to experience something to learn from. This can be a very difficult thing to accept. Why would I ever call in somebody to come and murder me or murder my loved ones or whatever it is? Why would I ever call that into being? And it isn't until you see the grander arc of your story that you realize that that needed to happen in order for X, Y, and Z to make sense and be resolved, or etc. There's that even the darkest chapters of your life hold a gift of some kind. There is such deep trust that appears in the cosmos and in the galaxy or the universe or whatever, the divine, when you realize that anything that I experience, anything is for my growth, is for my greater good. And it is also your choice how you can travel through these realms. You can travel through these relationships by choice, either going with this divine flow that's being charted in and feeling into it and embracing it, and learning from it indeed. Or you can also fight against it and rail against it, and little petty power struggles where one is trying to put something over on the other one. And these are all instructive as well. Relationships can be very beautiful with ease and grace and kindness and nurturing, and they can be very hateful and spiteful and like a nemesis or an enemy. And all of these make the stories richer, dear ones. This is the greater vision of what is happening. Look at these relationships, let us say. This is the grand beauty of the cosmos, of eternity. I hope that is not too poetic, but...
Kuba has a question. Jadon Se, if we are a fractal of Source Creator, what are we? Light photons? And does the light evolve?
Dear one, the question, what are we? Before you started throwing little scientific particles and things into the answer, feel into that question. What are we? It is so interesting that you framed it that way. You did not say, what am I? You said, what are we? And this speaks volumes. For ask those two questions, what am I and what are we? And feel into each of them in a different way or in a different moment, and feel how the difference, and yet they are also the same. And going to discover from your own answers. I am not going to say, oh yes, you are made up of this astral body and this causal body and these photons and these light bodies and these cosmic strands, and we could speak about this until we were blue in the face and you would not be any closer to understanding. It is when you dive within and ask these questions and answer deep wisdom from that question. It is possibly the most important question of your life.
I see that there's other questions from Aaron Darvish, but I also see there's other questions from people that haven't had a chance to ask. Shall I go to a new person to ask a question?
Do as you feel is best.
Lately, I have been connecting with the dragon Sapphira from Aragon. Do you know more what she represents?
Dear ones, these stories, each of them are so beautiful. Your Aragon story, and the world revolving around it. It is so beautiful that you are connecting on this level. It is so important for you to understand what does this mean to me? What is this connection that I am having bringing me? It is not necessary to look it up, so to speak, or to ask some other dragon, what does this dragon stand for and mean? Why is this appearing? Why am I resonating with this? It is more for you to feel into what is resonant. What is it about that particular dragon that calls to you? And you can ask that dragon to reveal that connection to you. Dear ones, any relationship you have with a dragon is a highly personal relationship. Excuse me. It is very important for you to understand that no one can answer questions about a dragon that appears to you except your own heart. And that dragon can answer this question. That dragon can appear to you in your dreams if you invite her to. That dragon can do whatever it is that you are calling upon that dragon for. And that dragon may astonish you with something you didn't expect whatsoever. You may even buy a dragon. And each of these experiences is exactly what you needed and exactly why you called that dragon into your beingness. This is what I am doing at this very moment. I am sitting here connecting with each of you on the levels that you have called me in on. And so therefore, your own dragon, if it is your dragon, this is for you to answer as well. You can do this in your own time, but it is important for everyone here to hear that your personal relationship with a dragon, whichever given dragon we are speaking of, is exactly as it should be between you two, and no other third party can interfere. Well, they can interfere, but no third party can enhance that relationship, let us say, any further than you already have that connection within you. So, if you bring in a third party, it will reframe things with that third party's perspective, and this will not serve. For dragons are very direct. Dragons do not need a third party interpretation. They do not welcome third party interpretations either. You may externalize to some other authority about dragons because this is your habit. However, it does not serve for you to do this. For the more you externalize the authority to interpret your relationship with your dragon, the less of a relationship you have. If you have ever had a most beloved pet, a dog, a cat, a bird, whatever, if you asked another person to explain your relationship with that beloved being, you can see that that explanation would be simply their viewpoint and would not really enhance probably your relationship with that being. It might be curious and fun to hear what they have to say, but it does not create a deeper connection for you. I hope this helps.
Niambra has a question. Dear Jadon Se, thank you for these beautiful sharings and cosmic reminders. Can you kindly share about Shambala and the dragon wisdom that is transmitted about and from Shambala?
Dear one, Shambala, like your telos, is a story which includes a realm that you can visit of a beautiful, let us say, paradise of a city or a realm, let us just call it. Many of the retellings of this story have this realm in your sacred mountain, similar to your sacred Mount Shasta with its telos. And In many tellings, you have your Lord Shiva, even your Hindu great Mahavatar Babaji, who is a real being and very potent, real elder brother of humanity, let us say. These beautiful stories of Shambala, like Telos and other cities in what you might call your Agarthan network, are different dimensional realms that are beautiful beyond most people's measure, and are filled with beautiful beings, very spiritually advanced beings, full of love and full of guidance and wisdom. And the halls of Shambhala are festooned with such creativity, beautiful sculptures in the living rock, animals and water features flowing throughout each of the great galleries of the cities. And it is not one city, yes, it is several cities, or you might call them neighborhoods of a city. It is a little different when you have a divine realm like this. There are wonders and joys in this Shambhala. There are waterfalls that fall from the divine straight through the center of this beautiful city. And this waterfall is a waterfall of pure light. It is as if the arm of a galaxy is streaming down through the center of this city and gleaming on the golden gilt floors and halls and columns and making dazzling colors and beautiful celestial displays and loving and guiding and looking into the affairs of the world and helping in certain ways, and great gatherings of wise councils and beautiful star beings coming and going. And the Shambhala is, we could go on for some time about this, and if you close your eyes and just feel into what's expanded for you, you'll see it even more clearly in your own inner vision. This is just a description from a voice, but it can be a gateway into an inner vision for you. You will see Shambhala. You have visited it in your dreams. Just try to wake up in some of these dreams if you really wish to see it. And later, as you become a little more advanced, you may even decide to travel there and visit in your own waking consciousness Shambhala. Beautiful. You are highly creative, multi-realms, and beautiful places. Each of you in some way connected with something beautiful. Continue with these desires and dreams and passions that each of you has, for they will take you on beautiful, grand adventures of beauty. I hope that helps.
Ellie Bisa, are mirrors really portals into other dimensions or timelines? I have been doing mirror work and have morphed into a lion, dragon, reptilian, a purple being, and it's helping me with my shadow work.
This is beautiful, dear one. Yes, indeed. Mirrors are portals, just as an open flame can be a similar portal. A crystal ball can be a portal. Any crystal, indeed. Any body of water can be a portal. Waterfalls can be portals. Yes, dear one. Yes, 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 and yes. It is very helpful for any being to use different models of consciousness to explore realms, let us say. And these mirrors, these crystals, they are so beautiful, for they also contain their own consciousness. So a mirror indeed has its own consciousness. This is why your fairy tales often have the mirror speaking to the princess or what have you. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me this or show me that. They speak to this mirror as a being. Every portal is a being and needs to be treated with respect and care. For portals, like any other being, can be benevolent, and they can also be naughty or misleading at times. And so it is very important that you deal with any given portal just as you would any being. Call in the highest good for this exchange that you have, and mean well as well. Be respectful of the portal. Be respectful of your sun, which is a portal, any body of water, any crystal. We can go on and on. Yes, dear ones. Yes, 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 and yes. And your shadow work can be completed best inside of you. You can use mirrors and external reflections for a time. They can be highly instructive. And indeed, your world will be a mirror. Your entire experience in this world is simply a mirror of what is within you. So, let us just say that the greatest work is done within and reflected without. And sometimes confirmations are nice, and so the reflections are not bad in any way, and they are not inferior, they are simply reflections. There is a beautiful story of a prince who lost a gem that was the most precious gem on the planet, and he had this grand empire, and he did not know where this gem was. He thought it had been stolen by a thief or something, and he mounted his armies and all of his scouts and every patrol that he had, and they went scouring the whole planet, the lands and the mountains and the swamps, and they looked everywhere for this gem. And after years of searching and searching, finally the prince grew tired, and he took a rest, and he got down off his horse and gazed into the water, and the water became very calm and clear. He was very quiet. He felt the stillness, and as he gazed into the water, he saw his own reflection. And he had been in his battle gear looking for this gem for so long that he did not realize that the helmet upon his head had the gem encrusted right on his forehead. This whole time, what he was looking for out in the world was right there, just sitting right there on his third eye. And it was due to the stillness that this water had the greatest gift. This mirror water had the greatest gift only because of the stillness. Otherwise, even a puff of wind, he would not have seen that gem. This is a very instructive story on so many levels. You can look without, and you can look within. I hope this helps.
Are we gonna? I think
Let us do one more.
Okay, and I think this is the last question from Tevin Smith. What can you share about Christ, Buddha, Atma, and the eternal self-consciousness?
Christ, Buddha, Atma, eternal consciousness, also known as your Paramatma. The Paramatma, well, let us just take these one at a time. They are all tied together. From where you stand and where many, what you might call ordinary human beings on this 3D world often stand, is from a place of separation. It is an illusion of separation, for there is only one. There is only unity. There is you might think of photons as separate particles of light. There is only one light that just appears in many different realms. And as you feel separate, as you concentrate on this separation, There is an amnesia that comes with this, oftentimes agreed to ahead of time. I am going to, in order to be able to function as a separate sovereign being, I am going to willingly take on this amnesia of self. And there is still, even in this illusion of separation, connections with the greater, higher beingness of you. And that connection can be seen as the Christ within. You can see yourself as an Atma or a Param Atma, and the difference between those two is whether it is an individual soul, the Atma, or the one spirit, God, Param Atma. And even though there is no space between those two, there is an illusion of a great vast difference between those two, and that illusion can look and seem infinite, and you might travel upon your Christ consciousness for what seems eternities before you arrived at the Atma, the Paramatma, the union of the two. And it seems these are all, the word seem is coming up quite a bit. I think this is your clue here, that perhaps you have a reason for this illusion. Perhaps you are not ready to pop that bubble. And very, almost every seeker who becomes a spiritual being goes on a journey, and that journey inexorably leads to the truth. And over the arc of that seeking, you will be reunited with your Param Atma. For now, we will let you sit in the Parusha, the Atma. You seem to like these Hindu terminologies. They are beautiful. These stories are very beautiful. We will just say that it is beautiful you are asking these questions, for it speaks volumes of where you are and where you are headed. I hope that helps. We are going to finish this session with calling out where we are from once yet again. Please call out where on this beautiful Gaia you are at this moment of time. We wish to connect these dots again, connect these dragon lines, so to speak. Call it out. Yes, indeed. We have Anatolia, Turkey. We have Groves, Texas. Where else are we today? Bournemouth, England. Keep them coming. We have Amsterdam, Netherlands, Utah, beautiful places. We have Holland. We have Lake Nacimiento, California. Very good. This is beautiful. We have Philly. Keep going. Where are we? Where are we right now? There are 29 of us here. Let us hear more of where you are right now. Los Angeles, California. Queensland, Australia. South Africa. Beautiful energies coming from all over this beautiful blue marble of a world. Keep them coming. Where else are we from? We have somebody who's from a heart and some praying hands. Is that a place or a state of being? Maybe both. Surrey, British Columbia. Beautiful. Cosmic Dragon, very nice name there. Very good. Well, we'll give you a couple of seconds longer. South Lake Tahoe. We have Cape Town, South Africa. Beautiful. Okay, well, this has been fun. Please do like and share our YouTube videos or whatever have you. We would like to make sure they end up being noticed by those who can benefit from them. And we love greeting and meeting with you on these live streams. It is fun. Again, the class, our very first class, which is working with dragon energies level 1, will begin on November 2nd. And there are about 16 of you, I think, signed up at the moment. It is going to be beautiful. So there are 2 weeks more to sign up, and then the class will begin, and we will explore many things together. Until that time, let us say we will see you on Wednesday for blessings from the dragon. And between now and then, look for some more messages from the dragon. We will be trying to keep up with these as time permits in this strange linear timeline of your channeler. Very good. We love you all, and be blessed.